Recently, we visited GSpeed in order to pick up a cooling kit to upgrade our C6 Corvette after finding overheating issues in our last test session. After tearing in the kit to see what it came with, we are now ready to install the kit on the car. We first started off by tearing apart the front end, and we're actually going to start putting the front kit in, but we ran into a little bit of an issue.
Everything else looking good.
Yeah, we're doing the install right now, and everything else is looking real good. We're just like, bolts aren't
Like,
long
I don't see the right bolt.
It's all good.
We actually forgot to pick up the hardware, so GSpeed was kind enough to send us the hardware overnight so we could continue working on the project as planned. Just as we had solved one problem, we would run into another, dealing with our front oil cooler kit.
So preemptively, not having installed it yet, this was my original thermostated oil cooler. This didn't fit. This is the one they sent with the kit. We might have an issue there. Now I already have one on the car that we could potentially leave there, but it's gonna mean that the lines probably aren't gonna fit right. I'm thinking it's because of the block we're using. It's not a GM block, it's an aftermarket block that I had to, like, there's extra ribbing on the block or something and this ran into it. So we'll have to, we'll see.
Even with the issues we were having, we decided to continue moving forward by finishing up the install of our oil cooler kit.
We just found a pretty ridiculous detail on here. It is like laser etched or engraved GSpeed C6, you know, the date they made it.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
We finished off the front end by installing a custom AC line and rerouting our coolant hoses and air intake to fit with our new cooling kit. After finishing all the work in the front of the car, we can finally move to the back where we can install our new trans and differential coolers.
Okay, so here's the adapter. So you can see the O-ring. So it's like an ORB, O-ring boss. And then on the inside, it says oil in it still, but an O-ring on the inside, so when the tube slides in, it seals. And then it's got a little notch, so there's a clip that goes on there which holds the tube in. Here's our adapter, which to me looks like a bulkhead AN fitting. And what you usually use these for is you're going through like a firewall or a fender or whatever you're going through without having a hose go through like a giant hole. That O-ring is going to go on there, and this is going to thread in where this guy did, and that'll seal. And this gives us an extension to get our AN fitting on there because this guy sits down inside. It's where the torque tube comes up against the transmission.
Oh, that's great.
In fact, my buddy who's moving here, I'll tell you the story about, like, we were going to get pizza, and there's this like double turn lane, and it was yellow, so I'm like ripping up to it, and then like we just chucked it in there and just like drifted the whole like corner, and we're looking out the windshield at this cop sitting in the turn lane.
Oh man!
And I'm like, oh, we're screwed. My buddy's like, he just turned. I'm like, really? Didn't even come after.
I was like, all right, that was too cool. Just let me...
He probably do what I did.
Yeah. He probably wasn't even looking. He probably was just like,
I'm sure the cop on the motorcycle that we were.
oh, on a motorcycle?
At.
Oh, that's very important.
After dealing with a couple hiccups along the way, we were able to tidy up the transmission and differential coolers in order to take the car to the track to test this kit out. After finishing the installation of the kit, we took the car to Crescent Motorsports Ranch to test out the effectiveness of the cooling package.
Everything worked really well. We definitely did not overheat. It's not quite an A to B comparison because it was like 63 when we got here this morning instead of like it was like 100 last time we were running the car. But literally our oil temps didn't even reach 190 until I pulled off the track. How many laps did I do? I mean,
You probably did about 5 to 7.
yeah, several laps into it before the oil temps even moved. So the coolant temps never moved. They were like at 200, just dead solid. So that concern's completely gone.
We want to give a huge shout out to Chris and the team at GSpeed for making such an amazing product, and go check them out.